Back at West Point, getting set for Army-Navy. And just moments ago, the coin toss down at midfield.
Captains, welcome to the 121st playing of the Army-Navy game. My name is Dwayne Haight. This is Jim Eckel of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Joining us today is a very special guest, and it's my honor to introduce the Commander-in-Chief and President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. Navy, you're going to be calling today's coin toss. We have a special coin for today's game. On one side is the Army-Navy logo. That represents heads. On the other side is the site of today's game, Michie Stadium. That represents tails. Navy, what is your selection? Tails is called. Mr. President, will you do us the honor? It is tails. Navy, you won the toss. Navy has won the toss, has elected to defer their option to the second half. You will receive the football. Which way would you like to kick? Let's turn team sides.
So Navy won the toss and deferred. We don't defer to the third member of our team, Jamie Erdahl. Jamie.
Brad, at last year's Army-Navy game, senior offensive lineman David Forney was honorably selected by his Naval Academy teammates to lead the team onto the field carrying the American flag in Philadelphia. It was an image, a moment that highlighted Forney's impact on Navy football as a whole. Tragically, just 2 months later, Forney passed away from sudden cardiac arrest in his dorm room. It was a loss that shook the Naval Academy community. The team decided that number 68 would not be worn this season until his close friend Billy Honaker knew that when that number returned, it would be for a special moment. Well, it is today. Honaker checked with both Billy's parents as well as his brother, David's parents, and they gave him their blessing to wear 68.
And he said it was the hardest day of his life, losing his friend. This is a hard game for these two teams. They're brothers in arms, except for the next 2.5 to 3 hours. Navy leads the all-time series. They have won all three played here at West Point. And as we told you, the last was in 1943. The stadium was shaking. I thought we were having an earthquake. And Gary said, no, it's the people down there cheering.
Cadets and mids are down there just bouncing away, and we could feel it.
And we're underway. And a fair catch called for, so Army will start work at the 25-yard line. And that brings out the guy Gary talked about, Tyler. Coming off a big game, 121 yards on the ground in that win over Georgia Southern in their last outing. Here's the offense that joins him. Led by senior Santa McCoy, leads the team with 10 rushing touchdowns. And the fog is getting thicker by the moment. And of course, Army in their specialty uniforms, pretty much the same color as the turf. Here we go, first down. And it'll be the quarterback on the keep, Tyler, for a couple, as we set the Navy defense for you. The defense that's been playing much better in the past couple of weeks. The captain of the defense, Jackson Perkins, the defensive end. The linebacking core, Fago, that Gary talked about, there he is. And the secondary for the midshipmen.
On the very first play of the game, Navy added an extra defensive lineman. It was a wrinkle they said they were going to use to try to control this Army rushing attack.
Second down and 8 from the 27. Tyler Robinson will get the handoff off the left side. And Tyrell Robinson maybe got out for a pickup of 2 more. Bernard made the stop, and it's going to bring up third down. And this is exactly what you want to get Army in a 3rd and long.
Exactly. Every yard, every half yard in this game matters, because both teams are willing to go for it on 4th down, and to do that, they got to get it in that 2 or 3 yards for 4th down. So every time you see a ball carrier get tackled and fall forward for another half yard or yard, that's like a win for both of these offenses.
Every blade of grass counts. 3rd down and 6. And it's a 1st down on the run by Tyler.
Both of these offenses were made and designed around the triple option. But lately, and because of less experienced quarterbacks, they're doing more of the load option or keep or zone read out of the triple option look. I bet we wouldn't see maybe 10 triple options in the whole game in this football game because of the inexperience at quarterback.
Basically down to a double option.
You got it.
At the 40, 1st down. Straight ahead, maybe 2 for Buchanan, who just checked in. Nobi Buchanan, actually the leading rusher for Army, coming in with just under 400 yards on the ground, and he is a load. He's out after his first carry.
Army's the number 3 rushing team in the country, and Navy has struggled, ranked over 100 in stopping the run. But you also, when you look at this, you have to look at the schedules of the 2 teams. I would say Navy played a tougher schedule.
Right. Army almost 300 yards on the ground, 3rd in the country. A little different look this time. Robinson gets it out to the 45. Game by game, the quarterbacks. Look at the musical chairs at quarterback. Anderson. They had 4 guys that actually started and won games through a 7-win season so far. That's crazy.
Yeah, and how often you see that, bringing in a new quarterback in game number 9 when you have a winning team. Some of it injury and some of it that, just getting a guy ready finally to kind of run the offense.
Well, they had a 3rd and 6 last time. Now they're 3rd and 5 here. And I don't know if the center didn't get the call. Something blew up there. Looked like everybody took off except the snap.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
3rd and long now.
Yeah, everybody but the center. You got it.
That's kind of key that he would know the snap count.
Our cameras do a good job here, and it looks obviously very clear with as they focus in there. But up from the booth here, this marine layer has moved in, hasn't it?
Didn't Vern do that game with Chicago and Philadelphia or something?
Exactly.
The Fog Bowl?
Not as many passes in this game.
That's true. Straight ahead on 3rd and long, and that's going to be 4th down and 7 or 8. And this will be a decision.
No, this will be a punt.
Should be.
Yes, we're going to go check with Coach Monken if he goes for it from here.
So Zach Harding, who doesn't get necessarily a lot of work, is going to get some here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
That's a little more what we're seeing. Zach Harding punted 4 times last year for almost 48 yards a kick. This one's going to bounce down to the 15 and tripped up at the 16. Great coverage. Mark Walker only got about a yard on the punt return. Early in the first quarter, no score, and the Navy offense will take the field for the first time when we come back. Ken Niumatalolo on the left, the Navy coach in his 13th year. On the right, Jeff Monken, his 7th season as the head coach at Army. They've coached together. They've known each other a long time. We'll call them friends, but on this day, they're kind of feisty when you talk about each other.
Got it.
Xavier Arline, starting quarterback. Gary talked about him in the open. Great lacrosse player as well.
Yeah, just his second start. He started the 2nd game of the year against Tulane. Had to be bailed out in that game, but finally got the team back in the last game.
And he'll carry it off the right side out across the 20 to the 21. As we take a look at the rest of the midshipmen offensively. Nelson Smith, leading rusher, 8 touchdowns on the year on the ground as well. And defensively for the Black Knights of Army, their defensive linemen, Duran, Cockrell, and West. Radigan, their leading tackler from the linebacker spot and the secondary. 2nd down and 5. Straight ahead and a first down for Nelson Smith, who we just talked about.
Well, you want to run the ball, you got to run the ball right at the nose tackle, and that's what they do. It's the fullback this time from the shotgun. Nice job by Justin Self, number 79. Left tackle took his guy all the way down the line and allowed Smith to break behind it for the first down.
See the last 6 games, great numbers for Nelson Smith, and a first down run the first time he touches it.
Yeah, you know, last year it was kind of Carruthers at fullback, but Smith accepted the challenge, lost a little weight, picked up a step, and it's been this year his year.
Dropped about 20 pounds, and he is faster.
Yeah, that angle,
shoestring tackle there.
it looks like they're going to go triple option to the wide side of the field, and what it is just a zone dive from the fullback. It looks like it's going to be coming towards the bottom of this, well, to the left of the screen now, but watch him cut back against the grain, tries to get the linebackers with the flow going one way and cut behind him.
And your guy Amadeo West, if he doesn't make that tackle, I think he's maybe still
Out
running.
to shoot, yes.
Pick up a 6, 2nd down and 4.
But success. Last week against Tulsa, this offense only produced 153 yards.
And it's Smith straight up the gut again. Just a couple. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 3rd and short. Navy quarterback story, much like Army's. 3 different guys have started their total of 9 games so far.
Yeah, and interesting that it started the first 3 games, 3 different guys, too.
This their 10th game. 3 and 6 Navy coming in, while the Black Knights of Army have won 5 of their last 6 with their 7-2 mark.
So first decision of the game as you call the play here. Ivan Jasper, the offensive coordinator, a long-time play caller, 13th year as coordinator for Navy. You wonder if he's figuring he's got 2 to pick it up.
In the pistol set here, Arline will keep it himself behind Smith, and he's out near the 40-yard line. First down. Aaron McDonald made the stop, but not before he moves the sticks.
Xavier Arline was highly recruited by all of the academies. Air Force, Army, and Navy all wanted to be their quarterback. They knew the potential he had. You talk to the Navy people, they believe he is going to be a great one when he learns how to play this position.
And it's a tough one to learn. A lot of decisions to be made on both sides.
Yeah, even before the snap, a lot of check with me's at the line of scrimmage.
First down at the 39. And again, this time, Gosselin on the carry. It's Nelson Smith, beg your pardon.
Jeremiah Lowry that time, the outside linebacker. Both teams play like a linebacker to the short side of the field and a linebacker to the wide side of the field. That time Lowry, number 43, came off the edge to just get the shoestrings.
Pick up a 3, 2nd down and 7 at the midway point of the first quarter. And you see the difference a year makes. Last year, number 1 in the country, and just about twice as many yards on the ground as this year. And it's just unlike Navy. They're usually 1 and 2, Army and Navy.
Yes. But you got to have the third part of the triple option, the quarterback.
Oh collision at the point of attack. Hello, Jeremiah Lowry.
Again, yes, the senior got the start. He and Andre Carter, number 34, kind of the twins there, 34 and 43, will play that outside linebacker spot. And watch him come in. It's almost a run blitz that time. That was called. You don't read it that fast. Give that one to the defensive coordinator on this Army defense, being able to get right in there and make that play.
Jamel Carruthers thought he ran into a wall right there. And it's 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7. Haven't seen a pass yet, will we? Maybe. And it's going to be deep on the near sideline and out of bounds. Incomplete. Chance Warren was the intended receiver, was way over and out of bounds.
I think it was Cedric Cunningham, number 22, that plays this boundary safety that takes the wheel route on the play. He's got it, he stays with his man, and he does it. Tried to kind of sucker play that time against Army, and they stayed with their men.
So 4th and 7. Daniel Davies set to kick.
I have to say, I'm a little surprised at that call. I thought they'd run it and try to make it a little short yardage for a 4th down call.
Tyrell Robinson waits down on the other end. I hope he can see the ball. I couldn't. He can. He made the catch and the return, and it's a good one as he got the corner. Tyrell Robinson.
He's their home run hitter, fastest player on the Army football offense.
So Army gets it offensively for the 2nd time with 5:49 remaining first quarter here at West Point.
Here at United States Army North, we know all about social distancing.
We know a lot about defending our home turf. Go long, old man.
From Colonel John Martin, class of 1974, and the oldest West Point graduate on active duty.
To a proud parent of a current West Point cadet.
Go Army!
Beat Navy!
Colonel Martin, I wouldn't take that old man stuff.
No, because he's younger than me. Thank you.
At the 35.
Appreciate that, Pards.
Second offensive series for Army. Short gain in those flashy uniforms. Jamie, I'm digging the uniforms.
So am I. We're going to talk about them. Army's uniform this year honoring the 25th Infantry Division, aka Tropic Thunder. It was formed from the Hawaii Division a mere months before the 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor. Almost immediately, the 25th was called into action at the onset of the Korean War. That is the electric strawberry, their iconic insignia. Navy's uniform wraps a season-long commemoration of the Academy's 175-year history. The blue and white marble you're seeing represents the texture of ocean white caps as well as the stone you see on campus.
And they've got that in the crypt of John Paul Jones on their campus as well. And he was the leader of the Navy, the First Navy.
Usually I like to make the point about this part of the game that one team has run 6, 7, 8, 10 plays. Army has run 8, and they ran every time. But that's really not news.
No, it isn't. It isn't. I really thought I liked the Army uniforms, by the way, until I realized that we were going to have this much fog and the same color as the field.
Brad's first game, Army wore all white in a snowstorm, and now we're on the grass, and they've got camouflage.
They're down at 4. On the keeper and going nowhere. Nice job by Fago.
The tackling machine.
Just looks like, well, he is a linebacker, but I mean, with the whole neck roll, I guess they don't call them neck rolls anymore. I think it's a butterfly reflector or whatever, but he uses it a lot.
You do. Now he's in a great spot in this offense, right in the middle. I mean, you know, like Tommy Nobis or Ray Nitschke or Joe Schmidt or Dick Butkus. I mean, this type of football at middle linebacker becomes a big story in the game.
Zach Harling to punt again. This one end over end, fielded and returned by Mark Walker. Whew, man. And now we're going to mix it up a little bit on the punt return. And we'll talk to you guys at the end of the game.
Yeah, we're with you after the game. Right now, we're not with you.
Yeah.
And we're going to be physical. It's a big part of this football game. Physical team. Can I be more physical than you?
Both teams are here in the first quarter, that's for sure. Still scoreless. Navy on offense in a moment. Just under 4 minutes remaining first quarter at Mackey Stadium, Blake Field. No score between Army and Navy so far. Stream CBS Sports HQ. Completely free and always on Sports News Network for highlights, breaking news, and expert picks. Download the CBS Sports app on your phone or connected TV to watch today. So Navy's got it for the second time offensively. Each team's produced a couple of first downs, but 3 possessions, 3 punts thus far. Arline going to reverse field. Oh, what a nice move just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He did. That Army defense is defending the turf, and I actually think Army has a little more pressure on them in this game. They've got the home field, but you know defending home field means so much. Can you imagine again the Navy team? And if you look on the other side, Coach Niumatalolo said, you know, we're the only school in history, the cadet school, one of the academies that have played 2 true road games against the other service academies, but the opportunity to win in their place is worth it.
You saw 8 straight wins here for Army on their home turf. Arline thought about a pitch, kept it, paid the price, but he bounced off and got out to the 30, maybe the 31.
Again, those last 2 yards, Cedric Cunningham comes up the safety, option to the outside, just the true option, makes the fake, and there's the safety to make the hit, but he runs through it. It was Marquel Broughton and Cunningham that he ran through both of the hits that time, both safeties, but those extra 2 yards means everything for these offenses.
Those 2 guys each had 12 tackles in the last game against Georgia Southern. So they will hit you from the secondary. But again, a nice job by the quarterback. The second effort to make it short yardage on 3rd down.
Big splits by that Navy offense. Oh, 2 men in motion.
And missed the whistles and the flags.
Again, you know, you have a passing team 5 yards, okay, but in this offense, big deal.
False start. Offense. Left wing back. 5-yard penalty. Remains. 3rd down.
Well, you know, AC number 25 right here is going to be the guy that moves while another player is in motion, and that's what's going to be the penalty.
So that's 3rd down and 7. Last time in this situation, they tried to throw deep on the sideline. There's what Navy has done in their 3 trips here to West Point. Not sure about that 12-4 game. I'm not even going to look into that if there was 2 safeties or if there were some other rules. 3rd and 7, straight ahead on the quarterback, and it's 4th and 7.
Yeah, see, I like that call by Ivan Jasper right there for Navy. All right, everybody said, all right, what? But you don't want to make a mistake
right.
with a young quarterback. Again, a total number of starts between these 2 quarterbacks, 5 coming into this game. Both teams play a little defense. Let's see who makes the first mistake.
7 block kicks. That is unheard of. Talked with Jeff Munkett about it. I said, is it that you work on it that hard? Is it the execution? Is it poor play by the guys you played? He said, we work on it like crazy every day.
Yeah, and can I say a little maybe all of the above? You know, like that is
exactly. Yeah. And of those kicks, Nolan Cockrell, or rather Ryan Duran, has 3 of them. Has a knack for it. Daniel Davies, as you look behind him on the punt.
Good protection that time by Navy.
And interfering with a fair catch, I think. Otherwise, it's going to be a Navy touchdown. I'm not sure who that bounced off of. Kevin Brennan took it in for the score, but let's see if it's coming back.
I don't think you'll be able to advance it either way, but let's see how it happens, whose ball it is. Army thinks it's their ball.
I thought he ran into the punt returner, and there's the fair catch.
Kick catch interference.
There's the collision.
15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down. Timeout.
So a long run for nothing. And Army will have it on offense with a little over a minute to go in the 1st quarter.
So the penalty now with this Army offense is the best field position. Now, can you steal a big play here? If you're Brent Davis, offensive coordinator, okay, you got to look down at this game and go, you know, both these defenses are controlling. There's Brent right there, the coordinator for Army. Can he steal one? Does he have a play in his pocket that he'd like to use right now? This drive.
Navy had a key injury a couple of plays ago. Number 73 there.
Right there.
He got poked in the eye.
It looks like it.
Right guard. Jamie will update us on that.
Cade Bernard is in at fullback. He's their best blocking fullback.
And short gain for Tyrell Robinson.
Yeah, and Jackson Perkins, number 96. If you turn on the tape for this Navy team, you notice a lot of guys, okay? Fago, Bernard, number 67, the nose tackle, but Jackson Perkins, number 96. Big, tall, field side tackle, defensive end, and he makes a lot of plays.
Yeah, he does. He's the captain of the defense. He's the guy that got his team fired up out on the warm-ups before the game.
And the only Navy defender all year that has started every game. It's been a weird year for Navy.
His service selection, Marine Corps ground. I want him on my side. Here's a throw by Army and a wide open receiver and a catch by Robinson. Takes a big hit but holds on.
As I said, if they've got one,
There it
this
is.
just when they're going to use it. It has to be a surprise. They're just not sophisticated to throw when the other team knows it. Tight formation, play action pass, and the wingback right up the field to the fastest guy. Nice catch too, by the way. Over the wrong side shoulder in the fog.
Tyler to Tyrell.
Yeah, that worked.
First big play of the game, and it brings our first quarter to a close. Big smile on Tyrell Robinson's face after a really nice catch and a pickup of 28. End of the first quarter. No score, and Army-Navy will return to West Point after this message and a word from your local station. College football, Army-Navy on CBS this afternoon from West Point as we're just about set to start the second quarter. Welcome back to the booth, Brad and Gary. You said before the game we would see maybe, well, we argued about it. We thought maybe 10 passes completed or tried.
One
big one, and you called it.
Yeah, well, we knew something would happen right there. Listen, this is a game that usually stays about 110 total plays for the game. 22 so far in the first quarter. Every play is an experience out there. Everyone's valuable, every first down, each field position. That's why a big, loss of yards, the Brian Newberry, the defensive coordinator, he looks for those tackles for a loss. And that changes it. But here comes Fago inside, and you can see he gets his big body right in the middle of him. That's another one of those called blitzes. That's the defensive coordinator directing his linebacker into a gap where he suspects the offense will run the ball.
Fago playing very much like he did a year ago when he had 8 tackles and a sack in the matchup with Army. Second down and 11, behind the sticks a little bit. Unless they can get to the corner, not much. Nice job defensively by Mitch West as we check in with Jamie.
A couple of things to keep an eye on when it comes to the Naval Academy offensive line when they return to the field. Here, Nesterowitz had to leave the field to have a pretty serious eye injury. I just got to look at him, and it is black and blue under that left eye of his. They're also taking a look at Pierce Branberry at center. They had Justin Self warming up from the left side, so you could see some movement along that offensive line, guys.
Yeah, we'll watch that shift, Jamie. It's definitely going to move some people around. And third down and 10. They picked up 1 third down so far.
Great answer by this Navy defense.
Tyrell Robinson moved and now will reset on the wing.
That's how they declared the defense with that quick motion. Now change the play.
Well, nowhere. Jarius Warren says hello from his nose tackle spot. And it's 4th down.
From Long Beach, Mississippi, number 94 right there, Jarius Warren. A veteran football player, gets in there right at the point, could not get the down block from Chris Cameron. Went unbalanced eye that time. He asked your tight end to make that block, and he could not make it.
Quinn Moretsky comes in to try a field goal. He's hit 1 this year from 40. This will be from 37. Kick on the way through the fog and the lights and in. Good for the field goal.
Good call.
That's all I could see.
That's exactly right.
So we don't have a scoreless tie anymore. Field goal puts the Black Knights in front by 3.
From the shores of Diego Garcia, deep in the Atlantic Ocean, go Navy, be Army!
Those guys have better weather than we have.
Yeah, the last couple days were gorgeous,
Oh, it was.
Here, weren't they?
Yesterday morning was perfect. Now Monday on CBS, Simone Missick is back as Judge Lola Carmichael, changing the justice system 1 case at a time. CBS original series, All Rise, new episode Monday at 9, 8 Central on CBS. A short drive, 27 yards in 6 plays, but Brian Newberry's defense did a nice job making it just 3.
More than nice. I mean, they stopped him cold. They got a tackle for a loss, which is one of the goals of that defense. They want to change the down and distance so that Army offense can't be comfortable, and they did it.
Landon Salyers will kick. And goes out of bounds, out of the back of the end zone, I should say. And they'll bring it out to the 25. Let's go to Zook in New York for a Papa John's update.
And Ness, here's some weather for you. Colorado entered the day undefeated, had a 21-10 lead, but Utah scores the final 28. Jake Bentley to Britton Covey here. The Buffs loss gives the Pac-12 South to USC. Easier to see the Utes in the snow than Army in the fog there, Ness.
Pretty close.
Good for Jake Bentley. He's gone through some tough times with that injury and everything, transfers, and glad to see him. He loves football, and glad to see him have some success. And Murray been there back in at center.
Army with the first score again in this series. See if Navy has an answer. Man, a yard and a half if they're lucky. Let's get an injury update from Jamie.
Yeah, on the right side of that Navy line, guys, Peter Nestoritz, he was taken to the hospital after suffering what I mentioned, a severe eye injury after being poked in the eye by an Army defender, and that is Bryce Teixeira who filled in for him.
It is number 67. Good report, Jamie. Let's hope that Peter's well. That's a tough one. Everybody taking on each other, and sometimes those hands get in the wrong way. I'm surprised more linemen don't wear visors, to tell you the truth.
Peter Sr. from New Jersey, we wish him the best.
He started 6 games so far this year, so he should be not too much in awe of this game.
On a keep, pickup of about 3 for our line.
You have to embrace this type of football. You know, you can't be saying, well, wait, you know, nothing's happening. There's a lot happening. You just have to embrace that line play and how intricate they have to do their blocking assignments.
So another 3rd down situation. Navy, as we told you earlier, only 36% of their 3rd down conversions. And this is going to be more like 3rd and 7.
Well, we know last year what Navy would have done in this situation. Malcolm Perry would drop back to pass.
And then take off.
And then he would just run. And during the game, I was going, Army, quit covering the guys.
What a brilliant performance Malcolm Perry put on in this game last year with over 300 yards on the ground. And they have struggled without a guy like him. And they're going to try the same kind of action with our line. Not going to get there, about a yard shy.
Yeah, that's the call. That was a called quarterback draw. So instead of leaving it up to your senior quarterback to read it and do what he wants, this was a run all the way. And now 4th and 1, a decision by Coach Niumatalolo what to do.
I think if it's a different part of the field, they would think about going for it, but not in their own territory at the 34. So Davies will punt again. Both these teams, when we get around to a 4th down conversion attempt, both these teams are 20 for 28 on 4th down conversions. You'll never see that again.
Seems impossible, doesn't it?
It does. Davies' kick. I've lost it completely. And Tyrell
did not.
Robinson holds on, has to hit the deck after he caught it. So we wish Peter Nestoritz the best, because that's what the eyes look like as he headed off to head to the hospital. We wish him the best. Let's take a look at our military appreciation moment presented by USAA. Here's Jamie.
Brad, let's take a moment to appreciate America's game is taking place here in West Point for the first time since 1943. And today we honor U.S. Military Academy graduates who played pivotal roles in shaping Army football. There are the iconic names, Mr. Inside Doc Blanchard and Brad, let's take a moment to appreciate America's game is taking place here in West Point for the first time since 1943. And today we honor U.S. Military Academy graduates who played pivotal roles in shaping Army football. There are the iconic names, Mr. Inside Doc Blanchard and Mr. Outside Glenn Davis, decorated coach Red Blake, and Pete Dawkins. But then there's President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who played on the West Point team for 1 season in 1912. General George C. Marshall, the Army's chief of staff during World War II, once said, I want an officer for a secret and dangerous mission. I want a West Point football player. And we'd be remiss to not mention the father of Army football, Dennis Mikey, who's credited with organizing the first Army-Navy game in 1890. Captain Mikey's name is forever immortalized here at West Point on the stadium that bears his name.
And that's where we are right now. Nike Stadium, Blake Field, West Point, New York. And a 3-0 ball game right now.
Army has run 13 times for 27 yards and thrown once for 28 yards.
Here's an inside give to Tyrell Robinson. Got out to the 36, pickup of a couple.
Brian Newberry, second-year defensive coordinator. He's over here. That's Ivan Jasper right next to you. There's the defensive coordinator. Has specific goals, plays a lot of zone blitz, trying to stop the run. Not necessarily for the pass, but designed to stop the run.
And they've done a pretty good job of it. 2nd down and 8. Tyler under center, and the pitch is low, and they're going to lose yardage on that one. Sandon McCoy had to basically get a shoestring grab just to hold on to that.
See, this is what a good defensive coordinator does. You got to keep the offense off balance. Watch the late shift by the nose tackle just before the snap. That shift over there, that front of that defensive line, that's what keeps those blocking assignments guessing all the time. When we talked to Brent Davis about this Navy defense, he said Brian basically calls defense like an offensive coordinator. Mixes it up, you never know what's coming next.
Each team with only 1 3rd down conversion will have to earn this one. 3rd down and 10. Looks like a blitz coming, and it's going to pay off. Spinning for a couple yards was Tyler, but that's about it. Perkins was there, so was Warren and West.
Yeah, number 96 again. He's just tough to block. 6'5", coming off the right side right here. Gets caught in a little traffic, but watch him explode away from it.
Jackson told us the other day, he said, when I got to the Naval Academy, I thought, no, I'm not going to be a Marine. Forget that.
He basically said he wasn't even recruited.
Hardly. He was kind of a skinny guy, kind of a basketball player, didn't know where to play him. Well, he's a big dude now, and he's a big part of their defense. Great punt way back around the 11-yard line and dropped at the 13 is Mark Walker. Nice job on the special teams again. 9:16 remaining in the first half. There's our guy, Jackson Perkins, the captain of the midshipman defense.
Took my legs instantly. People don't realize how clunky wheelchairs are, and houses aren't designed for them. The partnership between Tunnels to Towers and Home Depot is paramount. Getting a home that's built for me specifically is a pretty unbelievable opportunity. I can just move around this house like nothing. That's the best part about it. Oh man.
Top comes down.
I was planning on this home being a way to kind of close some wounds. I can do all the normal things that, husbands are supposed to do. I can put out the trash at my own house now. Wow, that's huge. The Home Depot Foundation gave me the gift of security. I'm going to be living here hopefully the rest of my life.
I think we can all agree that supporting veterans in need is a pretty smart idea. Well done, Home Depot Foundation.
So proud of those military people that sacrifice, but also so proud of our country and our corporations that don't forget these guys either.
So not a good starting spot this time for Navy after a beautiful punt. And their first 3 possessions all ended in punts.
Yeah, both teams have had 2 3-and-outs. Brad talked about Malcolm Perry and rushing for over 300 yards last year. Navy rushed for 395. So if you take out Malcolm Perry, the rest of the offense had a total of 75 yards. That's the challenge in here today. Where do they find those Perry yards?
They aren't going to get a yard there. They're going to lose a yard.
And there's 4 basic linebackers for this Army defense. Amadeo West,
Eric
John
Smith.
Radican, Eric Smith, who just made that tackle, and then we already saw Jeremiah Lowry, 43, and also Carter, 34. I mean, they rotated that one spot, but any direction you run, they've got tacklers in that linebacker spot.
Do they ever? Loss of a yard on the last play, 2nd down and 11. 4 games, allowing 9 or less. 16 a game is 8th in the nation and 4th in the country in yardage. Second down and 11 here. This pretty good run just to get out and pick up 4 for our line.
So what you have to do if you're in an offensive line, especially with these triple option teams in the pit, you have to block low. You have to take on these nose tackles with the backside scoop. See how they block low right there? Teixeira has to get down. When you watch Navy early in the year, without a lot of live practices, they weren't doing that very well. They didn't have their normal blocking down. If you watch Navy more than any other different team, the triple option teams, Air Force, Army, Navy, they go live in practice.
Yeah, they didn't hit at all,
No.
and that showed up when they played BYU because they hadn't even touched each other, and they barely touched BYU. But they're playing much better here in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Wow.
Oh, yep,
I mean,
outside.
if you get a yard, you're lucky.
And that was Nolan Cockrell, number 95, the nose tackle for this Army defense. For this defense to work, that nose tackle has to be what you call almost unblockable one-on-one.
That's what Nate Woody, the defensive coordinator.
And you got it. You got guys coming from all different angles. I don't even know if it was him that time. Maybe somebody slicing from the outside. I thought it was right up the middle. Might not have, but you eat blocks, and then you got to make tackles if they single block you.
Davies has been a busy punter. Tyrell Robinson gets out of the way and lets it roll. It'll roll down around the 45-yard line, so it's going to be good field positions. Just a field position game right now after the great punt earlier. They don't quite get that many yards back in the other direction. Jeff Munkin's team with a 3-point lead over the midshipmen.
Hey, Adam Zucker in New York. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, BJ, Rick, and I get you caught up on today's action, including Alabama completing its 5th undefeated regular season since 2008, and Devontae Smith adding to his Heisman push with his first ever punt return for a touchdown, all part of a 52-3 win over Arkansas. See him next week here on CBS against Florida. Guys, back to you.
3-0. Army in front, just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Let's test your knowledge with today's Aflac trivia question.
Aflac.
Which is, who was the first sitting president to attend the Army-Navy game? Goes back a long ways. 45th president, President Trump, here today with the cadets, when you could still see the cadets in the stands.
I think for taking a picture with the president, you can take the mask off for a couple seconds.
Yeah, you have to.
Exactly.
Just for a couple seconds, and then mask back. Good starting field position here.
First and 10 Army from the 45.
At the 45, straight ahead, maybe a yard for Atkins.
You know, it's interesting. Both teams run in the triple option, and you wonder, you run an option football, how important is the quarterback? Well, you can see today. I mean, and if you look back, the team that had the quarterback, Ricky Dobbs, Keenan Reynolds, Will Worth, Meckham Perry, Ahmad Bradshaw, the guy who can make the plays in this offense against these, both teams are used to the triple option. So if you don't have a special player at quarterbacks, hard to find yards.
And it's not that these guys aren't going to be at some point, maybe.
Not today.
Not today so far.
I think so far was well said.
And again, they're going to go with Atkins.
And neither one team wants to give up on the middle of the field so far either.
A 2-yard gain for Atkins. Bernard in on the tackle again from the defensive line spot. But here's 3rd down. Trying to see the sticks. 3rd and 6. At the Navy 41. Sandy McCoy back in now at the fullback spot. And on the keeper and on the corner, and there's a big play. Still going. Tyler's got a first down.
So that time, the blitz worked against Navy. They tried to bring a run blitz from the short side of the field. Johnny Hodges, number 57, watch the blitz right there. Runs right out of the play.
So Tyler has only made really 2 big plays, a 28-yard pass and now 13-yard run. And he's got Army in business inside the 30 of Navy.
Sometimes that zone blitz works, and sometimes the call goes against you and you run right out of a good defense.
And a whistle stop play here. The officials have a little meeting. I don't know if we have a clock issue.
Officials timeout. The play clock has become inoperable. The play clock will be kept on the field.
It's not a big deal because nobody could see it from the stands anyway.
That's right. I looked over at one end. I go, I don't even know where it was.
It is deep. It is a layer, isn't it?
We can't see. We're going to be honest with you. From our booth, we really can't see the bleachers on the other side of the field.
See any of the cadets or midshipmen from the other side. They're all spaced out in their squadrons, and we can't see them. Looks good here, though.
Yep. Looks good from that vantage point. First down at 10 at the 28. And it's Atkins for a couple. Anthony Atkins, the sophomore, has had 3 carries on this drive.
And it's a guessing game. This time the shift right before the snap to the right. There they go. And then they run right into the shift. At Donald Bernard, number 67. The 4th different nose tackle that Navy has run in this football season.
There's roughly what Gary and I are looking at from our vantage point. 2nd and 8. On the keeper, Tyler.
Oh, look at that safety fill.
Kevin Brennan in there in a hurry, number 7.
Again, without a passing attack, those 2 safeties, West and Brennan, 6 and 7, they play run. They just play and run every time. One guy's got the pitch guy, and the backside alley runner has the quarterback, and they did it perfectly.
Here's another 3rd down.
And if you're calling plays here, you're calling plays thinking of 4-down territory.
Sandon McCoy behind Tyler. He's going to keep it himself. Driving.
So funny. Full quarterback runs off tackle and basically a quarterback power, and the safety makes the tackle. Kevin Brennan, number 70. There might have been a linebacker there, but I saw the safety there as well. They are up there.
Here's your 4th down you were talking about. 20 out of 28 this year, Army is.
But they did kick a field goal, remember, for a 3-point lead, so it's within range. What do they do here?
They are going to kick it, I think. There's the identical 4th down conversions that I don't think you'll ever see again in any game, unless it's this game next year.
Yes.
So Quinn Maretsky hit from 37 earlier. And this one is no good.
Yeah, it was dropped by the holder that time. The snap was a little bit inside to the holder. I think the holder should be able to handle that, though. Watch it come inside.
Brooks Jose.
Yeah, you got to catch it. That's a drop. That's a drop. And then there's no way you're going to get the momentum to come back and catch that. So maybe slightly inside, but that's a winning snap and a drop by the holder.
And a double clutch by the kicker and a wide left, so no good after a pretty good looking drive.
Yeah, and they don't come by a lot, so you have an opportunity there. And I know if you're Army, you're kicking yourself. Like, that's usually the area we go for it. But with the 3 points on the board, you can understand why Monken said, let's try to put another 3 on there for the head coach of Army.
So Navy takes over after the missed field goal at its own 21-yard line. Arline, find a little crease in the middle. Bring up 2nd down. And a little bit earlier, we asked you our trivia question. First sitting president to attend the Army-Navy game, Theodore Roosevelt, 1901. By that time, that was the 11th meeting. And today we're in the 121st meeting. Fumble. Who's got it? Tyler. I mean, Xavier Arline, I think, got back on top of it, but it was close, and he did.
Well, you mentioned that this is my 12th Army-Navy game. Kind of going through the stats, something did surprise me in this game. 2 dedicated football teams, got a lot of discipline. There's been 40 turnovers now in those 11 years. 23 by Army and 17 by Navy. Neither team, both teams have only won one time when they didn't win the turnover battle.
Well, they're so disciplined the rest of the week, they want to come out and, mess things up once in a while.
Let it go a little bit.
In the final half minute, Navy will receive the second half kick, by the way. Just joining us. And now we've got a timeout.
Yeah, and if I was Army, I'd be calling timeout. The way they can block punts, 7 on the year.
Exactly. Coming up in about 22 seconds, Adam, Rick, and BJ will have first half analysis and highlights from around the country. The Geico halftime report.
I might try to cut some slack to Jeff Monken on this. I mean, that fumble play happened with about a minute. He could have called timeout right there and saved a lot more time. If you're going to block a kick, you kind of spent about 30 seconds that you could have had back on the clock.
See if Navy can pick up this third down. They're going to try to throw for it, and they're going deep. Man out there, and incomplete. There's a little bit of contact back there, but no flag.
So remember, instead of being 16 seconds, had Coach Monken a little earlier, or he had taken, it was called by Navy, but if Army would have taken the timeout, there would have been 30 more seconds in the half here.
Javari Bordeaux with some contact back there on Cooper, the wideout.
And the field official said,
I didn't see it.
It was uncatchable. If you can't see it, you can't catch it.
That's right.
Now,
well, here comes the punt, so I'm pretty sure we're going to have some pressure.
And if I'm Army, I don't even catch this one.
Here they come. And they got it away in a hurry. Nice job by Davies to kick it quickly.
And they're not going to catch it because they didn't put anybody back there.
They had everybody up.
They had to put all 11 back there, up on the rush.
Rolls all the way down and almost used that 16 seconds at the snap because it rolled so far. 2 ticks left till halftime. Next Saturday, you want to talk about a big day of sports? How about this? College hoops triple header, noon Eastern. Number 3 Iowa takes on top-ranked Gonzaga. That's followed by the CBS Sports Classic. UCLA will clash with Kentucky, and North Carolina takes on Ohio State. Then in prime time, we'll grab the football. Number 1 Alabama, number 6 Florida square off. Gary, Jamie, and I, and our crew, the SEC Championship in Atlanta. That's all next Saturday, right here on CBS.
We are lucky guys, I'll tell you that. From this game to that game, pretty good football game.
Not a bad week. And that will do it for the first half. 1 made field goal, 1 missed field goal by Army. Navy unable to get anything going offensively so far. Navy will receive the second half kickoff. And as both teams head out and to the locker room through the fog, Jamie's still trying to locate Jeff Monken. I think she's finally got him. Jamie?
Coach, I know your guys are used to playing this style of football, but where are you going to find a yard to put more points on the board here?
Give them credit. They're doing a really good job. They're lining up with an even front. They've been an odd front team, obviously, and that's got us bungled up a little bit. We're not blocking guys at times. We're not doing a very good job getting movement at the point of attack. So we're gonna have to come up with something, that's for sure.
Coach, we look behind us. I can't see 60 yards down the field. What's this environment like playing it?
It's a little difficult, and when the ball gets in the air, it's a struggle to see it. So our coaches are actually having a difficult time from the box seeing what's going on. So we may have to bring coaches out of the box this half. I've never seen it this thick.
Wow, that's interesting. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, beat Navy.
Vern just texted me to remind me that he did the Fog Bowl with Terry Bradshaw, Chicago and Philadelphia back in '88. 3-0 in the Fog here. Army Black Knights in front as we head to our New York studios.
All right, Ness, it's Fog Bowl 2. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, we'll get you caught up on today's ranked action and preview next week's SEC Championship game after this word from your local station.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Halftime Report. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Adding to the pageantry of America's game, having Army-Navy on the banks of the Hudson for the first time since 1943. The March On. And for the last decade, we've televised it. The entire Corps of Cadets and Brigade of Midshipmen on CBS Sports Network. And then they took the field. And then the fog came in. And we had the lowest scoring half between these two in over a decade when it was also 3-0, 2009.
Defenses are balling. You look at Army's defense. You know, first of all, let me say, familiarity breeds confidence. And this Army defense, man, the natural progression is dive, quarterback, pitch. They're not even getting to the quarterback nor the pitch because they're just eating up the dive. Here's a quarterback keeper here. Navy, 52 yards rushing. This Army defense is matching those baritone pipes.
Only 2 plays in the game have eclipsed 10 yards. They've both been by Tyler. Here you can see this throw play. Now, it's just a post and a wheel, but when you're trying to tackle a dive every down, that wheel gets hard to cover. You can see a big play there. That led to a field goal. Here, Tyre gets out on the edge, a little misdirection. We're going to see more of this. This was a 13-yard run. It would lead to a missed field goal, but this is the difference in the game. These quarterbacks, they're inexperienced. They don't have the whole playbook to them. They're going to have to get a little bit more.
Yeah, and otherwise, these defenses, they can see through the fog okay. We're watching from up here. All right, let's hit the highlights. Top-ranked Alabama taking on Florida next week in the SEC Championship game here on CBS. Here's a Heisman moment. It's like there was a fog for the Arkansas punt team.
There was something missing from Devontae Smith's resume. 15 receiving touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, but he didn't have a punt return for a touchdown ever until today. Then, off a sack fumble recovery by the defense is Najee Harris. No passing touchdowns on the day for Mac Jones.
How about Najee Harris over 1,000 yards, too? All right, it was looking good in the snow for undefeated Colorado, Rick.
Yeah, they were trying to get themselves to Las Vegas for the title game. Brendan Rice right here taking a quick screen, going 61 yards. If you recognize that name, he's Jerry Rice's son. But Utah would score the last 28. Here, Ty Jordan goes 66 yards. They would add a 2-point conversion, and it was all Utah down the stretch.
And that gives USC the Pac-12 South as they're set to face the Bruins tonight. Brendan Rice does not play defense. 28 straight. Georgia scored a bunch in a row because JT Daniels and company were in a tight one here, BJ, in Missouri.
He faced the number 7 and number 12 pass defense, and this is the number 3 pass defense. They didn't look like it today because George Pickens ate them up.
Wow.
First of 2 touchdowns on the day. What a catch, even being interfered with on that one. And then it was Zamir White. Forget about it. He's going over 100 yards. Not on that run. That was just 43 yards, but 100 for the day.
I did some more math. They scored 35 straight to end the game. But if you want lots of numbers, we present Jarrett Patterson doing it again on CBS Sports Network.
He's taking a toss. He can take 5 yards into the end zone. He goes over 100 again. He's over 1,000 yards. I think earliest to get to 1,000 yards in some time.
Yeah, matches Barry Sanders, Ricky Williams, Marcus Allen, and Kevin Marks Jr., his backfield mate, also over 100 yards in the first half of that game. All right, we're going to look ahead to next week's SEC Championship game when the Geico Halftime Report continues. College football on CBS. The Army-Navy game. Wow, with the right music, everything looks like dancing, doesn't it? Except me walking down the hall. Welcome back to the Geico Halftime Report. I'm just going to stay seated. A reminder, the NFL on CBS continues tomorrow with regional action. Many will see the Chiefs and Dolphins. It all gets started at noon Eastern with the NFL Today. And next Saturday, after a full day of hoops, it's top-ranked Alabama and number 6 Florida squaring off in prime time for an SEC championship. Our coverage kicks off at 7 Eastern right here on CBS, and we're going to see some good quarterbacks.
We are in for a treat next week. These two guys have had unbelievable years. We said a year ago, Joe Burrow, we'll never see it again, and yet we're seeing very much Burrow-esque numbers again. This next week, obviously, for a spot in the playoffs, potentially also for the Heisman Trophy.
The currency for Alabama's balanced offense, and they can do it with the best of them, whether they're chunking it or they're running it over 200 again today. And whether My question is whether or not Florida can stop the run. They've held 3 opponents under 100 yards rushing, Tennessee a week ago, but can they stop Alabama?
I'll tell you what, that one won't be 3-0 at the half. What are we going to see here?
Well, it's going to come down to these 2 quarterbacks. One of them is going to have to make a big play or possibly the big mistake.
Yeah, it's going to come down to turnovers, I believe, because I don't see any explosiveness out of either of these offenses.
Yeah, ball's getting slippery out there. That'll do it here from New York City. We thank you for watching. Coming up the second half, up the Hudson of Army-Navy.
CBS Sports presents the Geico Halftime Report. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
No gain on the play.
So far, the Black Knights defending their hallowed ground at Michie Stadium at halftime. Army with a 3-0 lead over Navy. And now, sounds of the game from the first half, presented by T-Mobile. It was also clear for the March-Ons. Not so much right now. We'll march on to the second half coming up right after this. Back for the second half. CBS Sports of America's game. Army-Navy. Presented by USAA. Back in Michie Stadium, West Point, New York. Army with the lead. And a 37-yard field goal. That's it so far. Navy will get the football to start the third quarter. Both the mids and the cadets hoping that the second half belongs to them and their team.
It was clear when they marched on.
Absolutely. Not so much now. And a second half underway. This one's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to give good field position to Navy's offense as they'll start at the 35-yard line. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler and Gary Daniels, Jamie Erdahl down on the field. So many times we talk about 1 or 2 plays makes a difference in a game. In the first half, that was about it.
It really was. I mean, if you look right at it, both teams rushed for almost the exact same yards, about 50 yards rushing. But it was 2 key plays. One of them a penalty on the punt. Navy punts. And then on the fair catch,
Tyrell Robinson.
15-yard penalty, which gave the field position to allow Army to call the pass and the completion back to Tyrell Robinson, which really set up the field goal. That's been the game for points. Now, there's been a lot of moves in tackling and defense and tackling the fullback, and as Coach Munkin told Jamie, the move and the shift of the Navy defense, but basically for points, that's the story.
So Navy opens up at its 35-yard line. Xavier Arline on the keeper. Got a crease and got 10. His best run of the day, maybe. Pick up out for a first down.
Good block that time inside on the linebacker to clear it. Let's see who it was. Oh, beautiful block by the lead back that time. And that really sprung the running back, the quarterback in this instance, to gain the yardage.
Nelson Smith is the guy that got the block. It sprung him for 10. And a first down at the 45.
That shotgun look, which actually Army saw a lot of in the last game. Georgia Southern ran that shotgun triple option offense right there against them. So nothing that Navy's doing on offense should be unfamiliar to this Army defense.
Same formation, this time going to the right for Arline. And again, he got a big opening. And now he's into the secondary. Arline, one more move inside the 10. Did he get there? Not quite, I don't think. He hit the pylon, but I think he's out at the 1.
So when a play works, same thing to the right. We ran the last one to the left. Let's run the same thing to the right. Now, the block wasn't as big, but it still was the block inside. And then when our line gets it in the secondary, you're seeing why all three of the academy said this guy can play quarterback for us.
All the way down to the pylon cam, and as you can see, his knee's going to go down to his elbow, I should say, at about the 1 yard line before he wipes that camera out.
And before he lost the ball, at least Navy should hope so. Ball came out after his knee went down, I think. That's what they're taking a look at. As he reaches, see how the ball comes loose and hits the pylon, but does his knee come down before he hits the pylon?
The different angle. Gene Steratore is our rules official. Gene's watching this with us the best he can.
Yeah, we're trying to get a couple looks. This pylon cam is a pretty clear look, and to me it appears that the knee is down with the runner with possession of the football short of the goal line.
So many players, Gene, make that mistake of reaching out and lose that ball reaching for that pylon, don't they?
They do, Gary, and it's instinctive, you know,
yes,
from a runner's perspective, is that you're trying to get every bit of yards that you can, you know, but at some point the possession of the football instead of that extra half yard has to take precedent.
I think the right knee goes down at about the 2 before the ball comes out.
And he's fortunate, or that ball would have been a fumble into the end zone.
Dwayne Hyde is the referee. Here's a call. And he's about to make the call. Going to be first and goal. He didn't turn his mic on. It's going to be first and goal at the 2. So the biggest play of the day, 64-yard run by Xavier Arline, has got Navy knocking on the Army door.
Yeah, everything's working on defense at halftime. You come out, you can't stop him.
Nelson Smith into the pile. Might have gotten half of it. They're still pushing and shoving, and finally there's a whistle. I think he got to the 1 yard line.
I hate that late whistle right there. I just wish that the forward progress was stopped, and there was so much time before the whistle that time. I don't think it's safe, and I just hate that tugging at the ball in that situation. Remember the play before when Nelson Smith got the good block again? They run the same play to the right, and he leads for it. Watch number 43 in there, and he just shadows just enough to get Radigan off the tackle and break it.
He's the guy that sprung in for 10 on the play to the left, and then 64 on the Weaver. And now Smith is behind our line, gets the pitch, hitting the backfield, backing his way back to the original line of scrimmage.
Wow, Jabari Moore, the boundary corner that time, number 4 for Army, takes on the block, and that allows the tacklers. Watch to the outside. He takes on the block, turns it back inside, and then it's cleaned up by number 22 Cunningham.
So they're right back where they started. In fact, just a little bit more outside the 2.
But when your corner makes that play, take on a blocker and turn it in, you can play some good defense on the edge.
3rd down and goal.
What are you thinking of your Navy? Is it 2 more downs, or are you going to tie the score with a field goal attempt? Right now they're going to take a timeout because the play clock got down to 1 second.
So we'll take it with them with 12:03 remaining, and a huge 3rd down coming up for the midshipmen when we come back. You pointed out Chance Warren in that Navy huddle during the timeout.
Right,
remember last year, right? In Philadelphia?
Yeah, he was letting everybody know. You can always go back to me, right, Ness? The little Philly special, number 13, Chance Warren just lofts it up to the fullback Carruthers.
Well, after the timeout, we're about ready to find out what they've got up their sleeve on 3rd down and goal, just outside the 2.
Do they have the guts to throw it here?
Carruthers is in there. The guy that caught that pass last week, so is Chance Warren.
Yes.
And Xavier Arline under center. On the keeper. He's in. Touchdown, Navy. Bryce Teixeira got a good block off that side, and Navy's in front.
See if his knee is down on this play. Is his knee down before he gets in? Where is the ball when his left knee goes down? Radigan's there. Does he get there before the knee goes down?
He's under further review.
Oh, I think that's pretty close.
Sure is.
I don't think they can overturn this from that look. Called a touchdown on the field.
Here's a different angle with his body lean. Let's see here.
Knee down. Yeah, I think they're going to let that touchdown stand.
I do too. But that's probably
our best look. Yep.
The ball at that point, it looked like, was over the plane.
His right knee goes down. It was not. I'm being told by the truck that it was not called a touchdown on the field.
Gene Steratore with us. Gene,
I think his right knee went down before the left knee. That's why it was not called a touchdown. Assumed they called that a touchdown.
I agree with that, Gary.
His right knee was down.
And I agree with you on that. Yeah. I think that the left leg feels like it is moving cleanly right over top of the ground, but not touching. And then we do see the right knee hit. Boy, that ball is so close, and the ball is kind of tilted in the runner's hand as he's approaching the goal line. And if they marked him short, I truly don't see something clear and obvious from our angles that would tell you could overturn the ruling on the field.
So
watch, I guess his right knee right there goes down, and my mistake was I thought they called it a touchdown.
What you guys are saying is I'm the only one that called it a touchdown.
No, it's really foggy out here, Brett.
If you knew how far away I was, folks.
Well, that's a great shot, and I think he's down. And now, what do you do if you're Navy? Because that's not going to be a touchdown.
It's fourth down and about a foot, if indeed that's what they're going to call. Hey, you're in enemy territory at the half-yard line. What do you do?
That's a good way to put it.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Fourth down.
There you go. Fourth down. And a little over the length of the football.
I'm going for it if I'm Navy. Don't you go for this right here? I think, as you said, enemy territory. You're trying to capture their turf. You don't do that kicking field goals.
So the play of the game so far is at hand. And this is a Navy team that's converted 24th down so far this year.
And the other thing, if you don't get it, think where Army gets the ball.
Nelson Smith behind our line gets the call and
nothing.
Didn't get it. The Black Knights hold their ground.
There was no movement up front at all.
There's their leader. And that emotion tells you that they just got to stop on fourth. His helmet might have gotten close, but the ball didn't. What a collision. That close.
Watch Nolan Cockrell, the nose tackle. He goes low and allows Radigan 47 to go above him. That stops the momentum on that play.
There's your guy.
Yes, you want him on your side.
Ruling on the field was no touchdown. The defense holds inside the 1 yard line. We take you back and we listen to hear if we can hear a whistle. Gary was talking about this earlier. And it was a late whistle. You were talking about that earlier.
Yes, you did hear it though. The running back fell across the line late, but I heard the whistle before it happened. It happens right about there, and then he kind of reaches it out afterwards. I think it's a good job of officiating and replay that play. And pretty good defense, right?
By Amadale Weston Company. The bad news is you're at your own 1 yard line. Navy stunting a little bit, trying to show blitz. against Tyler under center. And a pile up. Ooh, man, that was close.
Exactly, every inch. A week ago in this situation, Army coming out of their own end zone against Georgia Southern, fumbled by the quarterback on the play.
He had all kinds of difficulties in that game and got in the locker room at halftime. Jeff Monken said they walked up to him and said, hey man, just calm down and take care of the football. Don't do this.
That's exactly what happened. You wonder if they were going to let him have the ball wide like that, because that's what happened right on the goal line.
He said, Coach, I got you. And he didn't turn it over after that for that win. A little hesitation this time. He just tries to get him a little room to work out close to the 3.
Yeah, that might have looked like an option, but that was a quarterback keep lead the whole way. That was almost a wide quarterback sneak. This is how, if you're a Navy defense, though, that you can produce points in the football game. Your coach went for it on 4th and short. Now you get the ball back for your offense, where you still get to try for the field goal later.
3rd down and 8. Very doubtful that you'd see a pass, but who knows? Not even a pitch, and not a first down.
Yeah, but a nice 5 or 6 yards.
Give him room to kick anyway.
Absolutely.
So at the 10-minute mark of the 3rd quarter, 4th down.
Same play as the one before. Just go right behind your fullback McCoy that time and just get what you can get and make room, as Brad said, for the punter.
And that's not good, as Diego Fago, leading tackler, limping off. Zach Harding deep in his own end zone to kick. And this one flies out of bounds around midfield.
That's a really good turnover on the field right there for this Army team. Remember, they had the ball on the half-yard line and they give it back at the 45. That's a win. Diego Fago got hit right there by the lead back on that last play, and Brad said he limped off.
9:34 remaining 3rd quarter as we check in with Jamie down on the field.
Similar to what Jeff Monken told me going into the half, Navy coach Ken Niumatalolo said that both his offensive and defensive coordinators will be on the field with him for the remainder of the game. During that last series, Billy Honecker actually had a couple ankle issues, but he stayed on the field during that drive. Let's remind ourselves what he is playing for, wearing that number 68. His teammate that he lost tragically at the end of February, David Forney, from cardiac arrest. His number had not been worn all season long, but Billy is on the offensive line playing David's position and wearing that number 68 today. David's brother actually texted Billy and said it feels like there's a 6th lineman on the field today.
Yeah, he won't come out unless something breaks, I think. At the 45, good field position, but a heck of a punt, by the way, by Harding. Here's a pass, upcoming, going deep. Man out there and out of bounds again. That's the 2nd time our line has thrown it out of bounds. Let's take you back to the 3rd and 4th downs when Army held, and we see it from our AT&T 5G pylon cam, Gary.
Well, of course we see it, because they're under the clouds and everything on this one. One of them from the left side, just on the 3rd down play, and on the 4th down play, looks like he has an opportunity, but hit right in the mouth.
If you wondered about that drive that came up empty, 6 plays, 74 yards, 73 of it by Xavier Arline on the ground, and yet after 3.5 minutes, 0 points thanks to that guy.
Yeah, but for the game now, the quarterback has rushed for more than 100 yards. That is great news for Navy.
We had some motion on the offensive line. Looks like a false start on Navy.
Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Think about this Navy offense for years and years and years under Ken Niumatalolo. It's been the quarterback driven with yards. This year for the season, the quarterback position has rushed for less than 200 yards on the season.
Really?
They have not gotten anything out of the triple option. How do you run a triple option without a quarterback? It has not worked.
And you know, our line had 60 of those in the loss to Tulsa, and he's got most of the yards today, so that's a lot on number 7's plate. Here he is from behind, number 7, with Nelson Smith with him, and it's Smith with a call. Not much by Nelson Smith. Here's what Gary is alluding to. Malcolm Perry last year had 304 yards rushing just in the game we did, and over 2,021 touchdowns. And then this year, whole different story, man. And Malcolm Perry's playing for the Dolphins. So.
And when we mentioned Coach Niumatalolo on our call about the quarterback position. I said, you know, in this game, Coach, when I watch this game, I know it's about blocking, tackling linebackers, but it seems like whoever's the best running quarterback wins. Bradshaw, Keenan Renner. He goes, absolutely. That's the way these offenses work.
Well, our line's got the good numbers, including the 63-yarder that got him close, but didn't get him in. And now it's 3rd down and 14.
Just delay a game.
Timeout.
Oh, they had to take one.
And they've got to take their second timeout.
They beat it just before that because the flag was thrown, but they've called the timeout prior.
Adam Zucker with this Jeep update on a special Commodore. Vanderbilt's Sarah Fuller becoming the first woman to score in a Power 5 football game, knocking home this extra point against rival Tennessee. It tied it at the time. Their punter, Pearson Cook, added a field goal, but they trail the Vols 20-10 as we go back to Michie Stadium.
Awesome, Sarah. Good job. And thank you, Zook. Adam Zucker, our two-sport standout today, with Clark Kellogg with basketball and Rick and BJ with football. It's our GMC game changer.
And the game changer here is if you run the triple option as your offense, you know how to stop the triple option. If there's not a special player on the other side, both of these defenses, with their stunts and their familiarity with what goes on and their grit down there near the goal line, as we said in the open, every inch is going to count in this football game.
And it was inches short on that stop that prevented Navy from scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, 3rd and long here. Would they have that quarterback draw maybe again? Because I can't see the throwing the ball here.
Well, they're going to, or try. Our line zips it and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Mark Walker.
See, that's the danger, though. If you're going to throw short of the down marker, you're not going to pick up the first down, and you're putting yourself at risk in this drop back. No one even close to being open, but if you make a mistake, it could be deadly.
Should have been caught, actually. Yep. I know it's a tough day, and you don't see a lot of balls coming your way as a wide receiver in this offense, but that was catchable. And now it's another punt. Both Zach Harding and Daniel Davies have been busy today. Tyrell Robinson waits on the other end of Davies' kick, and he lets it bounce and gets out of the way. And it'll roll dead at about the 14-yard line. Monday night, our favorite neighbors are back. Cedric the Entertainer and Max Greenfield star in a new neighborhood. Monday at 8, 7 Central, or watch on demand or stream anytime. Take a look at the game trends. Tyre Tyler, career high 28 passing yards. Right.
One throw.
Yep. Army goal line stand was a thing of beauty. We showed you that just moments ago. And the 3 combined first half points, the fewest in 11 years.
This Navy defense, last time it was John Marshall, number 1, that edge linebacker to the wide side of the field. Probably their most athletic player they put in that position. He's a hybrid linebacker safety. They call him the striker. Plays to the wide side of the field, and he handled that option beautifully that time.
Almost the midway point of the 3rd quarter. There gives you an example of what it kind of looks like from that angle.
But again, that's a win for the defense. 2 yards like that, you're in control on defense. There's that, this time shift to an odd front.
And on the keep, and a big opening. Tyler, all the way out to the 45-yard line.
So you pound, and you pound, and you pound with that fullback. And you catch those linebackers saying it's got to be another fullback. Nope, this time Fagot gets caught up in the action, can't make the quarterback play, and he's almost to the house.
28-yard pickup for Tyler.
Watch number 54. He gets caught up in the action inside, in the traffic, and gets blocked. He doesn't really get blocked, but not enough to really play to the ball.
Now they go back to the banger on the inside.
And think about this. They stopped the Navy team on the inch line. They had 1 punt, and now they've gained control of field position right here.
That run by Buchanan. And he comes out after one snap, picked up 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. This time, Tyler in the gun. On the pitch, haven't seen many of these today, and maybe that's why. A loss of 2, and Marshall again made the play.
Again, everybody's got an assignment, and the safety number 7 and number 1, Marshall, both do their assignment. Marshall forces the pitch, and number 7, Brennan, comes up and takes the pitch man. That's called assignment football, and when you do it for year after year, after practice, you know what you're doing.
A 3rd down and long situation again for the Black Knights.
Defensive coordinator Brian Newberry said we back the fundamentals in that big layoff, and we're playing our best defense of the year.
Again, they'll try to get to the edge. A good block on the corner.
And a good tackle afterwards.
Brandon Walters on the carry. That time it was Mitch West who made the play.
I think McMorris somewhat halfway slips on the block, and then Michael West comes up and makes it the tackle a clean, perfect tackle.
Here's your 4th down and 2.
Ooh, I think that even though Army is built on analytics and they say 4th and 2, you should go for it, scores 3-0.
Yeah, going to play field position.
Exactly.
Again.
That's when the analytics don't mean much.
Chance Warren waiting on the kick. If he can see it, he's doing a great job. Let it go, and it goes down to the 6-yard line.
So in one series, this Army football team turned the ball from their own 1-inch line to the Navy, 7-8 yard line?
And you saw Jeff Bunkin hugging his punter. You don't see that very often, do you? Zach Harding, great kick, and he's still getting roughed up over there on the sideline.
To tell you the truth, in 3-0 games, you might see it a lot.
4:58 remaining in the 3rd. Friday at 7 Eastern over on CBS Sports Network. We'll crown a champion for Conference USA as the East Division champ battles the West Division champ for this year's title. You can catch it all on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
My buddy just texted me and said, at Army, the punter gets more hugs than the wide receivers. I think that may be true,
That
right?
could be. They're getting a lot more action, I'll tell you that much. The worst field position so far.
You remember the last drive, they started out with a pass, and that got them behind. They never caught up.
From the 8. And a big hit in the backfield, and down goes Carruthers in a hurry.
John Radigan, the inside linebacker, their leading tackler. For years, number 47 had to wait his turn. He was playing behind a pretty good football player, Brad, Cole Christensen.
Yeah.
Now activated and playing for the Los Angeles Chargers. I
Right.
did that.
Well, he's a semifinalist, Radigan, for the Bednarik Award, which is one of the top defensive player awards.
So he had to wait his turn, and then he was asked, what did you learn in those 3 years? And he said, humility and toughness to wait my turn.
Quarterback keeper all the way, trying to get to the corner is our line. They'll bring up 3rd down. Chance Warren was the guy trying to lead the way, blocking for him. 3rd and 4 coming up.
Kind of feel like this is a big play for the Navy offense right here. They need to get that defense off keep their own defense off the field and try to regain this field position battle.
Even if it's just 1 first down
yes,
or 2.
exactly. I just feel like this is the biggest 3rd down call. They're gonna go shotgun.
Our line keeps it all the way and gets leveled. Trying to follow Banbury as center, and it's 4th down.
That time Nolan Cockrell, number 95, the nose tackle, got off his block inside, tosses his block away and makes the tackle. What a play from your nose tackle.
There's the reaction.
Nate Woody said he could have played for any team I coached. Nose tackle, coached at Georgia Tech. Probably our best player, very strong upper body.
From inside the 5, they got close again, going after the punt. And this is going to be a pretty good one as well, so it's going to roll around a midfield mark with 2 minutes 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Speaking of John Radigan that Gary was talking about, from a football playing family, here's a little shout out from number 47.
John Radigan, Army linebacker. I have 2 older brothers that played college football, but neither of them had the honor to say, "Go Army, beat Navy."
And his brother TJ played at Penn State. His brother Joe played at Princeton, and here he is at Army. Jamie?
Yeah, and you see that hometown as Naperville, Illinois. Not the only Naperville native playing on this field today. You're going to see Mitch West in this Navy defense as well. They went to 2 different high schools, but both hailing from that same area in the same class. They became buddies when they were young kids playing on the same youth football team, and they've stayed in touch all this time, making sure they supported each other as they embarked on this football and life journey at these 2 different service academies. But they always make sure to stop texting during Army-Navy week.
From the Naperville Chargers of middle school to Army and Navy in the big time.
And Mitchell West has had a good football game. He's now wearing number 6, and he's been out there on a lot of tackles.
Second down and 7. And it's Buchanan again, all 260 pounds, and that might be giving him some credit.
Yeah, and Jarius Warren, number 94, inside on the bottom. This front 3 just have not been able to be controlled by the Army offensive line. They cannot loosen this group up.
So third down and long again, 3rd and 7. Each team, as Gary said, every yard counts. 100 yards now and 130 the other way. They've had drives starting in Navy's territory, haven't made anything out of it, trying to make something out of it here, and it's a first down by about a yard. Tough run by Tyler Tyler.
Nice call, a little bit of an addition to this offense that I haven't seen until this year. They're watching tapes. It's a quarterback counter on this play. Linemen go one way, backs go the other. You get those linebackers leaning, and then the quarterback counters the opposite way.
Good looking play. And a first down run by Tyler. At the 39. This time the pitch is errant, and it's going to get picked up by Navy. No, it's going to go out of bounds.
Oh my goodness.
They had a great shot at it and didn't pick it up.
Jamal Glenn, number 16, I think he thought he had the touchdown of the game. Was it 16 that had the first shot? The pitch, it's inside, it was Warren. Kicked away, and then yes, Glenn has it. He says, I'm gonna take it to the house and score the touchdown. It could be the difference, and he can't handle the ball.
Forgot to take it with him, Jamal Glenn, the junior, and he is beating himself up over that opportunity.
Fago's right there, and nobody would have got close to him. He said, I had you all the way down the sideline.
2nd and 20. Straight ahead and play it safe and pick up about 8.
I could have bet anything that the fullback was getting the ball after that play.
No more pitches. Not right now. At least not in this quarter. Maybe have a pitch in the 4th quarter, but no more in number 3. And 3 is all we've got on the board. Hard hitting 3 quarters of football. End of the 3rd, 3-0 Army. And we'll return to West Point right after this message and a word from your local station. America's game goes to the 4th quarter. 3-0 right now, Army. As we welcome you back to the booth, Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie's down on the field. You know, every time we see a team, they go like this. We don't have that many points.
I know.
But
both teams would take 4 points right now.
They would, but whoever blinks first or makes a mistake is probably going to.
You know, I was thinking like you were going to ask me, so what's going to be the.
Okay, so what's going to be
it could have been, it could literally be anything in this game. It could be a key penalty, like what's happened already. One missed assignment, you know, following the quarterback, the wrong alley. Do they dare throw again?
This is Tyler on the carry.
And right now, it's one tackle that saved a touchdown by Cedric Cunningham, number 22. Remember this play on the long run by our line.
And then he got his teammates around him and says, we are not letting them in our end zone. And they didn't. The goal line stand prevented Navy from scoring, and they still haven't.
Yes, and then the start of the fourth quarter, now they just got to gut it up. Both teams looking at each other, their defense and their offense. There's probably both teams, the pace of this game, the number of plays, both teams are going to probably have 15 more plays in the game.
They work all year, and now they know it's down to about a half an hour to see who's going to win in the 121st edition. We started things off about 2.5 hours ago with that great open produced by Pete Radovich. And then we started to air it out. There's the throw of the day so far, and a career high on that pass play of 28 yards. Led to a field goal of 37 yards. Up and good as Army scored for the 7th straight time to open the game. This was the run of the game so far by Xavier Arline. The problem is he was tackled, as Gary said, at the 2-yard line. And from that point on, it was you're not coming in our end zone by the Army defense. And that is where we stand right now, 3-0. And another punt as well by Zach Harding. He's going to boot it to the far side, try to knock it out over around the 10. I think it's going to go out closer to the 15 or more. And that's where they stop.
Got it. Nailed it. 15 right on the toe.
So 14-10 remaining. Well, from today in the afternoon to next Saturday in prime time, we'll take you to Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Top-ranked Alabama, number 6 Florida. It's the SEC championship. And two of the best to play their position. We're going to see a little different quarterbacking next week.
Yeah, I would say that we're going to have more than one completion for 28 yards.
Mac Jones,
That's a
Kyle
fight.
Trask.
It's a fight for everything, right?
It might be a Heisman fight. It might be a fight to the playoff. It could be a lot of things. It'll be exciting as always. Hope you join us next Saturday night. Arline is going to pitch it, and the ball is loose again. Army's got it. We said maybe one more mistake might be the difference. Maybe that's it. John Radigan.
This play had no options. It's an option play, but right away it had no options on the play. Edman on the line of scrimmage is going to take that pitch away. All you have to do is catch it and get out of a bad play. There was nothing there, and it got worse. If he caught it, he would have lost 4. He didn't, and they lost the ball.
So the hit was put on by who else?
You got
Cunningham.
It. Number 22.
And the recovery by Radigan. And Army's got it at the 13-yard line. Just a keeper straight ahead for Tyler. Maybe to the 10. Pickup of 3. Second down and 7. Their red zone trips, 71%. The best in the country.
Yeah, it seems like all the stats from the past don't really count today, do they?
No, they don't. Both coaches told us that. Records, stats, forget it. It's Army-Navy. Tyler again in the gun. And again follows his fullback, and he's inside the 5.
That was pretty. Brent Davis dialed up one on that one. You fake to the fullback, then you follow the running back behind it. This was just ISO from shotgun. 2 backs, and you file both of them. And boy, what a good job inside by Terrell Robinson. The littlest guy in the field comes in and makes a block.
It wasn't the fullback. It was a wing guy.
It was.
Here Tyler says, feed me. Feed me. We'll see if he takes it again.
You love that. Your little 165-pound slot back is leading your quarterback on the ISO.
3rd down and a yard. They can get a 1st down at the 2. Tyler keeps it, drops. Did he get anything out of that?
Johnny Hodges, the linebacker that time, stuffed it. Same play they just ran. Play action. Number this time you lead with the fullback, fake to the slot back the other direction, and it was stuffed. Interesting decision here, isn't it?
4th and 1. Here we go with another 4th down.
You almost feel like
they change it 1st and goal.
They did.
They just signal 1st down.
No decision now.
It's just outside the 3. Sandy McCoy behind Tyler. Whoops, movement, false start on the right side.
That's a big mistake in that situation.
False start, offense, number 55, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
So you bring in the extra offensive lineman, and he is juiced up to do it, and that is a huge mistake.
J.B. Hunter, number 55, you'll see him pop out of his stance, looking to get an early start.
I will say he aggressively came out of his stance, didn't he?
He knew he was playing against Jackson Perkins and wanted a head start, and that is very costly, as Gary said, because 1st and goal back at the 8's a whole different animal.
You know, in that huddle, they were saying, we're coming off the ball on this play. Tackle over, you got the 2 tackles on one side of the formation.
And again, the quarterback will take it maybe to the 4. Tyler, good run. He backpedaled for a couple of those yards. So they mark it just inside the 5. They bring in Cade Barnard, number 40. An extra blocker, 240-pounder, number 40 right there. Tyler straight off the right side and into the end zone. Touchdown, Army.
Again, they shift over the left tackle to the right tackle, means you have 3 offensive linemen to the right side. Both of your tackles are to the right side. Right over there, there's your strength. And on the shotgun, that's where he goes, behind those 3 guys, leads out, and you actually pull the backside guard. You actually have 4 linemen to the right side because he followed Mike Johnson pulling around the corner, and that's the power they needed to get it in the end zone.
AT&T Pilot Cam, as you see the touchdown, and now the extra point upcoming. Up and good. They didn't have to go far after the fumble recovery by Radigan.
And remember, Navy had the fumble opportunity, tried to scoop and score. Army has the fumble opportunity, they make the play. It's the little things that always matter.
And 5 plays and 13 yards later, Tyler, who said, feed me, feeds himself. Touchdown, Army. They're up 10-0. They should be. Their team just scored against Navy for the first time ever here at Michie Stadium. Now, they only played 3 other games, but they got a touchdown on a 4-yard run by the quarterback. And there's what we're talking about. And here's another look.
Yeah, and basically Army did all the power they could on this play. They put their fullback and 4 offensive linemen to the right side of the formation, and that's what creased it.
Finally pay dirt for the Black Knights. 10-0 lead.
Both those fumbles happened, you know, within 10 yards of each other. Same side of the field, inside the, 35, 40-yard line right there. Just a little scoop. One team, I don't blame them trying to scoop and score.
No, I don't either.
That looked like a sure scoop and score.
Salyer's kickoff. And fair catch called for at the goal line.
Brad, Navy has run 33 plays in 3+ quarters. Now they have to score. You know, they're 2 possessions behind.
Right.
Now they have to step it up. I even wonder if they think about maybe going Dalen Morris, their passing quarterback. He came in that second game of the year against Tulane and threw the ball around. Can they come back without throwing the ball?
Yeah, you don't want 3 more punts than you have first downs in the game. Don't forget, later in the game, before we're done, the play of the game, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. 25-yard line. And they come out with the guys they started with. Still going to be Xavier Arline. But now it's desperation time, as Gary said. They're 10 down, 11 to go.
Yeah, you're playing the clock and Army right now, even though there's, 11 minutes to go.
Yeah. They are going to try to throw on first down. No, they won't. Arline will take off and got about 5.
I think the pass offense in this game is, Xavier, if the guy's not wide open, stay back there, look for a crease, just like Malcolm Perry did, and try to get some yardage. He's not going to get 300 yards like Perry did, but get us some positive yards, which he did.
He had a 63-yarder earlier that ended up just short of the goal line, and that led to the Army goal line stand. Arline, bad snap. It's going to be picked up by Warren in the backfield. He'll just take a knee.
Well, that's just the 3rd different possession, whether it's been a penalty or this time it's a bad snap. Unless this penalty's on Army, it's going to be behind the chains again.
Lucky that Warren was at least there.
They've made mistakes and cost them in their offense.
Chop block, offense, number 67 and 62. That penalty will be declined. 3rd down.
They'll decline the penalty because of the lost yardage. So the chop block, and that happens in these offenses with some regularity. It doesn't get called that often. So a couple of miscues by Navy here in the last 5 minutes has turned things in Army's favor.
Third possession of the game, and they don't have all that many. That they've got behind the chains by a self-inflicted mistake, penalty, or this time a bad snap.
Nelson Smith trying to blast out of there, got it to the 25, and that's about it. Andre Carter made the stop. And 4th down, so they got to give it up again.
Yeah, and now it's a real danger point because you're in the danger area of Army putting together 3 or 4 first downs.
Yeah,
and
they couldn't run out the clock. Yeah. And remember, Navy's only got 1 timeout left. Daniel Davies to punt again. Army's not going to try to block this one. They got the return on. And dropped. Robinson got back on top of it, though, at about the 41-yard line. And we got a little pushing and shoving going on again. A little brotherly love out there. A little brotherly argument. There is a flag down. Dwayne Height with the call.
Rolling on the field as Army recovered the ball. Be 1st down. After the play was over, personal foul, number 49, kicking team. That 15-yard penalty will be added on to the end of the recovery. 1st down.
Oh, Kyle Gibbs, the long snapper. That's not going to help the cause any.
No, and this was so far beyond the whistle that they had to call it. I mean, it's not a vicious spear, but Robinson was down for 3 or 4 seconds on the play, and then you hit him when he's almost ready to get up on the play. Got to call it.
Cost him 15. Tyre Tyler, Army's 4th starting quarterback this year, and here's what he's done today.
Yeah, the only completed pass of the game, a great catch by Robinson on that play, but total offense now by the quarterback is over 100 yards with that 28-yard passing yardage. The big thing, what he's brought to the offense is carries. 21 rushes in the 85-yard range. They needed to find something where the quarterback gained yards, and he did.
He carried it 35 times against Georgia Southern. This time he gives it off, and gives it off to A.J. Howard for a good gain. Jamie?
Let's appreciate what Tyler has gone through to become the quarterback of this team. Started the season with a severe injury. Jeff Munkin told me that he burst a bursa sac in his knee. It swelled up so big they had to drain it a couple of times. It wasn't until late October he emerged as a quarterback. In those first couple games, actually, offensive coordinator Brent Davis was brought down on the field to make sure he communicated with the young quarterback early and often enough in that game. And of course, Davis brought down on the field in the second half of this game.
His teammates have really rallied around him. He had some academic issues last year, was ineligible, so he had to fight back through all of that too to become the starting quarterback for the Black Knights.
And he even played a little bit of slot. He's played everywhere. They're trying to get him on the
field. Number 5, 5-yard penalty. First down.
A.J. Howard is called for the false start. He's in the backfield.
Yeah, and I think from here right now, Navy should be playing defense to dare this Army team to pitch the ball again. You know, I mean, it's going to be quarterback keepers, fullback dives. Yes, you're going to hire the hand of the slot back, but it's basically an isolation play. I don't know if they go wide unless the quarterback keeps it. They ain't going to pitch it anymore.
They're 40 yards away from the goal line. Navy only has one timeout left, and there's only 8:23 to play. They just want to work clock, get some first downs, and straight up the right side with their quarterback again.
They're playing a 40-second offense right now. They want the 40 seconds between the plays.
The 121st meeting between these two teams going back to 1890. There's your most played football rivalry. Shameful that Wisconsin and Minnesota was canceled, so no Paul Bunyan's axe there. Georgia and Auburn next. You see Army and Navy down at the bottom of that. And Indiana, Purdue, your old school. That one canceled, the old open bucket.
Hey, listen, it's a different year. I don't even think they should put that in the record books. Let's just pretend it didn't happen.
We're just happy we're here.
You bet.
Second down at 12.
That's what you're going to see. They're playing 40 seconds between plays and hold on the ball. And right now, does Navy take a timeout here?
Only got one to play with. That's a problem. Would have been quite a big difference had they had those other two timeouts that they had to use.
Remember, they're going to take 40 seconds before fourth down too. When they punt, because they don't. If they have to punt, they don't care if they get a delay of game penalty.
By the way, the play clock is working here in the stadium again. That they got that fixed quite a while ago. As you see it, down to 10 and under.
Without taking a timeout, Navy will get the ball with probably less than 6 minutes to go in the game.
3rd and 10. This time he hands it off to Howard. Pickup of a couple. That'll bring up 4th down and 8. Well, 1943, the last time these teams played here. Mick Jagger was born in 1943. Oklahoma, where the wind comes whistling down the plain or whatever. Frank was singing with Columbia Records.
It's got a theme of singers
got
here.
A lot of singing, and there's the program from the one in 1943. Program today is awesome too, by the way. A little more colorful. Another punt coming up. Harding taking his time, working the clock. Not even take it all the way down. No, they get that snap with 1 second. And that one bounces around the 14-yard line, I think is where they spot it.
And just as we thought, counting backwards, you're playing 40 seconds. They're going to get it back. Navy under 6 minutes to go.
You're right on it. 6 seconds difference. But a long way to go and a short time to get there if you're a Navy fan. It's a final leg of the $1 million race around the world. Find out who wins the amazing race Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. We're down to the final leg and race for Navy if they can't get something going offensively as they trail 10-0 with just under 6 minutes remaining in the ball game.
They're trying to keep an eye on to see if they would bring in Dalen Morris, their best passing quarterback, but they're going to stick exactly where they are.
Last 4 drives, 10 plays, a yard, punts, fumble. Not good.
I think it's a passing game now. They need a big play, a big pass. Throw it up, see if something happens.
Or see if our line can get a big run like he got earlier, but not this time. And again, Amadeo Weston Company make the stop. There's our guy, Peter Nestowitz, who went to the hospital and came back. And he has got a serious shiner, but it's good to see he's over there with his teammates on the sideline. Here's an end around, and now a flea flicker. And going the wrong way, and dropped for a safety. Mark Walker, I don't know if he wanted to pass it or not, but he never got the chance.
Marquel Broughton, number 20, is the guy that stayed home, did his job, and got it for an extra 2 points on the safety. You cannot blame Navy for trying something. You got to try it. Can't throw the ball, find a way to make a big play. Army just made the bigger play each time. There he is. Number 20 stays with the play and makes the play.
Tried to come up with a big play, and it ends up being a 2-point play for Army. What's driving your health care costs too high? You'll want to hear what 60 Minutes found out tomorrow on CBS following our NFL coverage. McDonald there, the guy that made the play.
Yeah, that's my mistake. I thought it was a 20. It was, and McDonald came up.
That's Nate Woody, defensive coordinator.
Bringing in, he just follows the play this time, comes in there, stays home, does his job, and makes a cool tackle.
Nice shoestring tackle,
yes,
on a wide receiver. And we'll never know what that play was supposed to be.
It had to be a pass off the reverse.
Sure,
you're
looked
looking
like
for
it.
a big play somehow, but it turned out to be a big play.
From our AT&T 5G pylon cam, you see the safety.
Better be careful if you're Army. I think the only play here Navy has to think about is, what can you go onside kick here? I would.
Don't have much to lose.
Right.
Except the game. There's only 5:21 left.
Army's going to take a timeout here. They don't have their hands team on the field, so they're going to take a timeout.
Army, their second timeout of the half.
Well, you have the option to free kick that and punt or kick, and timeout taken. So Army's only got one timeout left. Navy, more importantly, only has one timeout left with 5:21 to go and down 12-0. Army took that timeout. Jeff Monken got his team around him. Don't forget, coming up, Adam, Rick, and BJ will have the highlights of the college football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Jeff Monken got his team right, so I want you and you and you and you and you.
Yeah, and he
up
also
close.
and he had to get his hands team out there. He just had his regular punt return or kick return team out there. Now he had to defend the possibility of an onside kick. That's why he took the timeout. And I think if you're down 12 with this amount of time left, only one timeout, you got to try an onside kick here.
Ben Fee will be the guy if it is indeed an onside kick. Who's got the whistle and the go-ahead, and they fake it, and the other kicker kicks it, and it didn't go 10 anyway, I don't think, but Army's got the football. And a flag because I don't think here's a call. Didn't go 10 yards.
Offside, kicking team, number 13. The ruling on the field is the ball was recovered by Army. The 5-yard penalty will be added on to the end of the recovery. First down.
And the offside was on when one kicker going one way, one the other way, and then everybody is offside by that far. They tried what they could, came up empty on that.
The captain, number 52, Mr. West, is looking out. He's in his 5th year of playing because of the injury. They granted him an extra year. What, 3 more weeks, he will leave West Point, enter the rest of his career.
Tyler inside the 20. Key plays in this game.
Well, early there was the pass, but late the goal line stand, and then the 2 fumbles. The one that Army had, that a possible super score to make it a 7-3 game, and then Navy does it, and Army says, we're going to just fall on this baby, and that led to the touchdown for Army.
And here is that touchdown from 4 yards out by Tyler. only touchdown of the game, a field goal and a safety, and 12-0. As Tyler's getting close to 100 yards on the ground, and he'll keep it again.
I hope he's not getting sore, because he might be keeping the rest of them.
Tyler on the keeper.
Maybe just one time out remaining. Last time holding the Mids without a score, 1969. Last year it was a wide open game if you're a Navy player, thanks to Malcolm Perry, in a 31-7 win, and Army 4 minutes away from getting their revenge and the possibility of the Commander-in-Chief's trophy as well. But first things first. Ooh, and they're still hitting down there.
Sure are.
Mitch West made first contact.
Well, and everybody can tee off. Everybody knows the ball's going to be kept by the quarterback or run inside. No pitches anymore, and another late penalty. This time, is it by Fago?
No, he's the one that's the most angry, and his teammates trying to push him, and I wouldn't push that guy too far, even if I'm a teammate.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 7, half the distance to the goal from the end of the run, automatic, first down.
Ends on
reset
Kevin
the game
Brennan.
clock to 3 minutes and 44 seconds.
And right there.
Even though the side of the helmet and half the face mask right there, that's a great call.
And Fago had his own action going on away from the ball, like right there.
He and Cade Bernard, number 40, have been meeting all day on isolation plays, and they had something to say to each other.
Yeah, they had an isolation going on at the 10-yard line away from the play. First and goal at the 9. Robinson and McCoy in the backfield set with Tyler.
Taking the clock all the way. Should probably take it to the 5-second mark.
And they do. And Tyler down with forward progress, maybe inside the 7, close to the 6. Talked about the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. It's on the line next week. They'll take on Air Force. And Jeff Monken, I asked him yesterday, did you ever have a game after Navy? He said they did one time way back, but he wasn't quite sure when
You know
it
what
was.
stands out, if I got time to draw here? Only 3 road games, 8 home games with a schedule that had to be changed and rechanged and stuffed in teams. Only 3 times did this Army team go on the road.
This is going to be their 9th straight win on their home field at Blake Field and Mikey Stadium. In the next 3 minutes, Navy has taken its final timeout. Let's check in with Jamie.
Guys, I know you may seem tired because you've been straining your eyes through the fog, but let's talk about the 4,400 midshipmen that had to get up at 2 a.m. this morning in Annapolis to get on their fleet of buses to get here. They were all socially distanced, so we all saw the buses lined up outside our hotel. It was an impressive collection. They have stayed through this whole game. They're standing still. Well, they're about to get back on their buses. I think they're going to be a little heartbroken, unfortunately, but it's going to be another 5 hours. But they do go on leave tomorrow.
Well, that's good news. We keep talking about first time since 1943, the game being played here, and there were travel restrictions at that time because of the war and all of that, and the Mids didn't get to bring anybody back in 43 due to that. The entire 1st Regiment of cadets here at Army had to learn Navy's cheers, and they also played Anchors Away, the band did, because there weren't any Mids here to cheer. So basically had some of the cadets cheering for the other team.
Seems fair.
Yeah, I don't think they probably liked that too much.
I'd like to do a little shout out for Evan Fockman, number 11 for Navy a year ago. One of their best players. He opted out after 5 concussions in his career. He has to be a clear mind. And his future is to be a Navy pilot. Losing Navy did one of their best football players, but you don't hear that very often in the games we do, that somebody is going to step away because of his health, because he wants to be a pilot someday.
And because of health concerns that canceled so many football games this year, basketball games as well. And when we talked to the players from both teams, they said even if there was only one game to be played this year, it was going to be this one. And a bad snap, and right over Tyler's hands and head, and he covered it himself. That one came right into your living room from that angle.
Did.
I was thinking about trying to catch that.
And it was so hard, too. I mean, that baby was coming back. That had juice on it.
Whoa!
What are we doing?
We're going the wrong way. And they're going to try a field goal here. This will be right around 40 yards. Made one and missed one to a bad snap. And from 40, I'm going to wait for the officials on this one. It's good. 15-0. Army en route to the win over Navy. $15-0 Army, just 2:20 away from the win, and now it's time for the plays of the game, presented by Jersey Mike Subs. On this one, Xavier Arlon on a 63-yard dash, tried to stretch it out to get to the pylon, but Cunningham makes a game-saving tackle or a touchdown-saving tackle, and then the Army defense took over with a goal line stand. And they would not allow Navy into their end zone. And that turned the course of the game. And then there was a couple of fumbles, one that was covered by Radigan. That led to a touchdown by Tyler. The field goals.
That really was a spectacular play by Cunningham, number 22. There were, on that play, Navy players running down the field signaling touchdown as the play was going on. And he reversed his field, turned around and got him just before he got to the end zone.
Landon Salyer set to kick for Army. Jeff Warren and Myers Bell deep for Navy.
Well, the celebration will be here in West Point tonight. I don't know how much they let them celebrate, but
They got their phone lights on, and that's about the only thing we can see, right?
yeah. Salyers to kick off. And Navy will have another possession at the 25-yard line. They need two scores really fast.
One thing about this game is just no plays. What, 91 plays total in this football game. I mean, this game has just been shortened down so much. I'm looking over here. Navy has only run 38 plays in the whole game.
What did we have last year? 52 and 57 or 50, something like that?
It doesn't go much. The average is 110 plays in this football game.
And now they bring in a new quarterback in Dalen Morris, but I think you think it's about 3 series.
I thought so. He's their best thrower. He came in that Tulane game and helped them. In that game, he was 6 for 11 for 139 yards. They needed a passing game.
Well, he throws complete on his first throw of the day, and it's close to a first down pickup of about 9.
Yeah, I think with about 8 or 9 minutes to go, they should have made the move, in my opinion.
It's the first completion for Navy. And it picked up 9 yards. So now for really the first time today, you start looking at the wide receivers that are out there and whether or not Dalen Morris can connect with them. Throws on the run, a one-hopper incomplete.
I'll tell you, when Navy, I thought, showed their best grit of the year. Remember, they got beat 55-3 by BYU in the starting first game, and they're down 24-0 in the next game, and they come back and win that game 27-24. That shows you what it's like to have grit in a football team. A lot of people go, we just don't have a good team. That was the game that Dylan Morris came in and played that great, maybe 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, against Tulane.
Yep, Tulane, excuse me, yes.
30-yard. Oh, and they're not even going to get the yard.
Nope.
Wow. Cockrell and nose guy. Again, the one that Nate Woody said, I love this dude. You got to have a good nose tackle in this game, and he is a good one.
Yeah, and he lived up to billing, didn't he? Threw off the center's block that time by Banbury and just stopped the fullback. He guessed right or he saw right, one of the two, but he just tossed him away.
If it's not a first down, this will be Navy's last snap offensively. And the throw's incomplete. And Army will take over, and they know now for sure, even if they didn't know a few minutes ago.
Well, I think the last piece was they wanted the shutout in this game, and they're going to get it.
And this will be their 4th win in the last 5 outings against their arch rival from Annapolis.
Not very often a team can win a football game with 8 first downs, but Navy only had 4.
Wow. Amadeo West, who tore an ACL in 1 year, an Achilles the next year, and a bicep in another year. And here he is, the captain, and he knows it's going to be a fun night. There you go. That's your guy you talked about 3 hours ago. And he's almost crying over there, as well he should. The comebacks that he's had just to get to this point, the leadership he's shown, and now the emotion as well.
Yeah, all of these guys. There's both of the coaching staffs tell you they respect the players on both teams, and they know how much they sacrifice. These schools are not easy to go to in the first place, the life they live, and then all the hours they have to put in this physical program to be a football player. They pay a big price, a great reward to be a football player for these two schools, though.
It'll only take another knee. Delay a game. Doesn't matter. Tyre Tyler. First start of his career was their last game. In his second start, he's going to beat Navy. He and his team, I should say. But he's a huge part of it. Got the game clock wrong right now. Have to wind it down there. They got it straight. Victory formation and victory on their home field for Army. 15-0. Little scuffle going on, and that's not what we need right now. In
That's
final 5 seconds.
That's what I was trying to say. There's intensity about your home field right here. You can feel it. The Army did not want to see Navy on their home field celebrating. Is the chippiest of the games that I've done.
And cooler heads have prevailed. There's the two quarterbacks who ran the show today. Amadeo West and his teammates with the celebration.
A 0. Held them to a 0. That's what they're saying.
And the two coaches, longtime friends, with the hug at midfield. And the quarterback, one of the heroes today for the Wolfhounds, the Black Knights of Army. And as I said, brothers, except for 3 hours here in December.
And that hug was Cody Worley, his quarterback coach, and he's had a long year training all the different quarterbacks. First year quarterback coach for Army, and he's gone through a lot.
So kind of a long walk for the midshipmen. To head down to their brigade. And they're singing of their alma mater.
After a great season a year ago, so successful, this year's going to finish 3-7. The only thing that really could have saved this season for Navy was to win this football game today.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise for the playing of Navy Blue and Gold.
Kind of hard to sing through the masks or maybe the tears because you weren't able to win. But then you have the joy of heading down the other way for the cadets as you work all year long, and you hope in this given instance that you can be number 2, because if you sing second, you've won the game. And now the Army alma mater. This one will be a little bit louder.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to feel the masks down on this side.
And now, please remain standing for the playing of the West Point alma mater.
One of the great traditions in any sport, anywhere, singing second when you're victorious in Army-Navy. And in this case, Army gets their first win ever against Navy at Michie Stadium. There had only been 3 previous games. 2 of those were Navy shutouts. Today, it was Army's turn for the shutout. 15-0, the final score here this afternoon. Congratulations to the Black Knights, who go to 8-2 with a date with Air Force next week. We thank you for being with us. A very special Saturday here at West Point, New York. For Gary Danielson and Jamie Erdahl, our entire CBS crew, Brad Nessler saying so long. Final score, Army 15, Navy nothing. The college football postgame show presented by Rocket Mortgage is up next after these messages. So long from West Point.
CBS Sports College Football Postgame Show is presented by Rocket Mortgage.
A day that feels like a championship, a holiday, a bowl game, and of course, a rivalry without rival. Army shuts out Navy for the first time since 1969, and the Black Knights of the Hudson sing second on the banks of the Hudson and beat their rival. We welcome you to College Football Postgame Show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Adam Zucker along with Rick Neuheisel and Brian Jones. Tonight on CBS is a night of holiday classics. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, and Frosty Returns, followed by a new 48 Hours. Tonight, only CBS. Of course, in the game you just saw, it was more like Cockrell the Fogman as that Army defense rose to the occasion time and again, shutting out Navy 15-0. And moments ago, here's Jamie Erdahl with the winning head coach, Jeff Monken, after the game.
Coach, I know you worked very hard this week to not make this game too big, especially on your home turf, but what did this day end up turning out like for you?
Oh, it's just a great game. I'm just so proud of our players, the way they fought and battled. The other team, Navy, just fought their hearts out and headed down here. We had our backs to the wall, had the big stop, and what a huge turning point in the game. I can't say enough for Nate Woody and the defensive staff, our defensive players, and just for our guys gutting it out. We got a couple scores we needed, that big kick at the end by Moretsky, just all those things, execution, and we finally got it going a little bit, but they were awfully stout, and give them credit too.
Back in the 40s, Navy came here and held Army scoreless, but you just returned the favor in 2020. Are you able to appreciate now that you've made history?
It's a pretty big event to shut somebody out in this game, and this just got such a great history to it, and there's people watching all around the country and all around the world that have played in this game, and nobody really understands the emotion of this game unless you've been a competitor. And I was just reading this week, and Gary Steele, I know we invited him here, and I'm just so sad he couldn't be here. What a great American, what a great West Pointer, and a tremendous football player here. Chuck Schretzman, my dear friend, who's battling ALS. He's down in Savannah, Georgia. I love him. I love you, Chuck. Tyler Tidwell, who played at Navy when I was an assistant there. He's a warrior. All three of those guys, those are warriors. And, that's what this game is about. These warriors that are going to go and serve our nation. And I'm just so proud. It was a great game. I'm not sure anybody got to see it because of all the fog, but man, it was a lot of fun to celebrate like this.
Some of those warriors made a name for themselves here today. Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Beat Navy.
They beat Navy, and they'll try to beat Air Force next week and win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. Also at West Point, that will be on CBS Sports Network, and the defense for Army making so many plays.
We get caught up with all the bells and whistles in today's fast-paced offense, but the game's never going to change. It's about the fundamentals, and it emanates there in the trenches. Big fourth and goal stop here by Army, and watch number 85. This guy, Nolan Cockrell, actually, this was an opportunity Navy couldn't take advantage of, a scoop and score, and then Army comes back and they get a turnover and they go on to score on that miscue by the midshipman. But that defense of Army was stout all day. Nolan Cockrell, who I was going to mention, was incredible. Here you go with the defense, getting a safety here to really seal the fate of Navy.
Nate Woody, the new defensive coordinator, was phenomenal hire by Jeff Monken. Phenomenal hire. The numbers spoke for themselves coming into this game. And these two young quarterbacks aren't ready to do triple option.
No.
3 years from now, mark my words, if these two youngsters are still the quarterbacks for their respective academies, we are going to be treated to a very different game.
Yeah.
Very different game.
They went through a bunch this year, both of them. You take Army or Air Force next week?
I'm going to lean Air Force.
Okay.
Just because I think there's more offense.
Wow.
I'm more apt to agree with you, but I love how the Army owned the trenches today, and they're going to desperately have to do that again.
Sorry I asked.
Taking nothing away from the Black Knights. It's their night. Listen, this was a phenomenal occasion to see this game on this setting, on this stage. It was a terrific day to be an American.
Tell you what, if that fog rolls in, go with Army. All right, let's hit some highlights here. Top-ranked Alabama taking on Florida next week in the SEC championship game. That'll be here on CBS. And Devontae Smith, this is a clear runway, BJ.
Yeah, he had never done this before, but he's done it now. 84 yards for the punt return touchdown. 16 scores on the season for Devontae Smith. And how about Najee Harris? He's got his name in the record books. Tied career rushing TD record there with Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry, two Heisman Trophy winners.
And again, next Saturday, top-ranked Alabama, number 6 Florida, squaring off in prime time for the SEC championship. Our coverage kicks off at 7 Eastern with the drive to Atlanta presented by Mercedes-Benz, followed by State Farm College Football Today Here on CBS, Bama hoping Christian Harris is okay after a shoulder injury. Now, Colorado trying to stay perfect. A little snow for you. It started well against Utah, Rick.
Sam Neuer out there, a little quick screen to Brendan Rice. You may recognize that name. He's the son of Hall of Famer Jerry Rice. That would give Colorado a 21-10 lead, but it was all Utah from there. Here goes Ty Jordan, 66 yards. The pay dirt. Big day for the Utes. Keeps Colorado from being in the championship game. SC will represent the South.
Yeah, they scored 28 straight, and then you look here now, all the Power 5 championship games are set. The Pac-12 was the last one we were waiting on. USC trying to remain perfect on the year when they face UCLA tonight. All right, we'll be back with more scores and highlights right after this quick timeout.